Hey guys, welcome to the Learn Feng Shui podcast, where you'll learn Feng Shui from a classical point of view, taking out the myth and superstition. So if you're interested in learning Feng Shui, Chinese astrology, all things Chinese metaphysics, as well as the superstitions and myths that connect it all, you'll enjoy learning Feng Shui with me. Hey guys, welcome to Energy Update for March 2024, month of the Fire Rabbit. Today we're going to get into the zodiac signs that are most impacted, Zodiac Forecast, as well as flying stars, Feng Shui, neuroinnovation sectors, and how to stay healthy and transition from the wintertime to the springtime. Let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Candice Berlanga, certified Feng Shui practitioner, red ribbon professional with the International Feng Shui Guild, and reluctant Feng Shui master. I'm your host to the Learn Feng Shui podcast. Welcome. Let's get into this energy update here. March 4th does bring in the month of the Fire Rabbit, and that lasts through the 19th, that first solar cycle, Jie or microseason of the month. That is called Awakening of Worms. Spring thunderstorms and warmer weather usually mark this cycle here, and it is a time where you start seeing more worms and insects kind of coming up to the surface. Just happy for that warmer weather, as am I. You know, we've had a pretty mild winter here where I live in Texas. It's been pretty nice, minus a few really cold days. So yeah, I guess the groundhog is right on the early spring thing, right? So March 19th through April 4th does bring that spring equinox. And this is the time of year where we see more balance in day and night time. And, you know, the day starts to get a little bit longer, night's a little bit shorter. That'll really start to be apparent during this next micro season here. And then the pagan observance of Ostara, it's that cross-quarter point in the year for the wheel of the year. And this is where we get our traditions of Easter and just kind of that observance there. And this, fun little thing here, a fact, I suppose. Where do we get the imagery of a hare or a rabbit with Easter eggs? Where does the Easter bunny come from? Actually, the goddess Ostara. I found this, there's a couple different versions of the story, but basically she transformed a bird into a rabbit and left it with the ability to lay eggs. There is one sort of version of this where she, come across this bird that was very, I guess, kind of braggadocious, very proud of itself. And to humble it a little bit, she's like, I'm turning you into a rabbit, but I will allow you the ability to lay eggs once a year. All right, guys, looking at kind of the tone or the theme that the Fire Rabbit can bring us here. So if you think of the Fire Rabbit, we're going to be thinking of the energy of yin fire and yin wood. And so it's kind of like a candle. Anywhere you look, it'll say the Fire Rabbit is like a candle. But if you think of the way a candle is, or the use for it, I suppose, it is small, but it is effective to see what's going on directly in front of you to light your way. And if you think of the way yin fire is, or a candle fire, it is about feeling inspired, keep going. So the Fire Rabbit can kind of give us a societal collective sense that things are going to work out and be okay, I think. Remember that we can only focus on what's within our control. Okay. So letting go of that can be very helpful here too. And just from the perspective of Chinese metaphysics, the season of spring does start with the new year in February, and it is the months of February, March, and April. And so spring is a time where the yang energy is building. Think of the way the light is building, how we're having more kind of equal amounts of day, the daytime's taking over, and this yang energy is building, right? And so it is a perfect time to manifest. When the yang energy is building, it's a good time to manifest. Just like when the moon is, going from the new moon to the full moon, it's a time to manifest. And so purging, getting rid of unwanted items, and doing spring cleaning, like closets, organizing, stuff like that can help you symbolically make room for new things to come into your life. And remember, I am reading this from the newsletter. So newsletter's up on the website. There is both a PDF, and you can just read it on the website if you'd like to. I like the way it looks a little bit better. To me, it's easier to follow than the previous blog post. But it does have a page on here, a second page. It does. I'm going to include something called practical application. And it's going to tell you generally just what you can do just in a practical way without following flying stars and all the other things, right? Setting intention and goals, and what you can do with that spring cleaning to, just kind of improve the feng shui of your home. One thing I do include though is don't forget to do a spiritual cleansing or clearing on both your home and yourself, And so, I do have date selection days for that. There is a calendar on the newsletter too. And it talks about days to do that spiritual cleansing and even days just to declutter, organize, or donate things to, a charity. So go check out that newsletter because all the information I'm covering today is in there. It'll be linked in the show notes. And it always comes out the same day as the podcast. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I forget to plug my stuff sometimes, guys. I just be forgetting to tell y'all. I don't know. Yeah, let's check out that Zodiac forecast now. Let's get into that. All right, guys, when we look at your Zodiac forecast, remember you do have 4 Zodiac signs in your natal chart. So you have one for the year, month, day, and even hour you are born. So there's 4 different Zodiac signs you have to follow. And for this, you only look at the Zodiac signs. There is a calculator always linked below. You just plug in your birth date and you can find those 4 Zodiac signs. If you don't know the hour you're born, I get that and understand that too. So that just takes out a little component, but it's totally okay actually. So we're just looking at the Zodiac signs. And the year represents your friends, social circle, community. The month can represent your career, personal relationships, and sometimes your health. The day does represent your health and romantic relationships. And the hour represents your children's thoughts, emotions, feelings, and if you have a downline, your subordinates. So depending on where that Zodiac sign falls, whether in the year, month, day, or hour, that is the area of life that it is said to impact you. Okay, it's kind of a general way to look at it. So check that out and reference back to that. Let's check out which Zodiac signs are most impacted. All right, Zodiac signs most impacted. Remember, not all 12 Zodiac signs will be impacted by the energy of the dragon or the rat. So remember, we have to kind of take into the account those yearly energies. So we have the dragon for the year, and in comes this rat for the month and does have some sort of interaction, right? And so some Zodiac signs do not actually interact, okay? And starting off, of course, with what we were just talking about, the symbol of Easter here is the rabbit. So the rabbit, it will, be governing the energy this month. It's called the Grand Duke. Whenever you see energy that governs the month, it's just called the Grand Duke, okay? And we can kind of look at what's called the Shinsha stars to see where you can focus your attention. So the 2 things that I think you need to be most cautious, I suppose, of, or most mindful of, is the sickness star. So if you start experiencing bad health, do go for a checkup. Don't put that off. The rabbit does have just some energies this year that could cause some minor health problems. Probably nothing major because you do have some energies that kind of also will clear it up. And so you might just see some nagging small health problems like, if you have an underlying condition, it may just, bother you a little more this year. But also surpassing path, increased anxiety, and stress. You might just feel more stressed. So one thing I would recommend is practicing some stress reducing activities like meditation, exercise, deep breathing, stretching, yoga, those type of things. So that's what the rabbit can focus on for the month. All right, guys, the next Zodiac sign most impacted is probably going to be the tiger and dragon, but probably tiger more so because you already have the month of the rabbit, the year of the dragon, and then you yourself will have a tiger. And so that does make a seasonal combination. And the three zodiac signs do combine to form the element of wood. And so it just honestly, we can look at what wood means to you here, and it means making connections. Networking would be really beneficial for you this month, or just doing some things that help you connect to other people and make those connections, do some sort of collaboration. It can be very beneficial for you. Focusing on self-growth. Wood does represent also self-growth, and just kind of that need for growing, I suppose. Self-awareness is really good to kind of do this month, those type of thing, mindfulness. And then signing up for a new course or going for a certification, learning something new is highly supported for you this month. And even this year, but definitely this month. And forming the 3 harmony combination with the rabbit is the pig and goat. So if you have a pig and goat here, you also make the element of wood. So it combines to make wood. And so same kind of applies in networking, making friends and collaboration. But for you, also making connections between ideas and concepts. And so you may, think of 2 unrelated things, but there may be a connection between the 2 that you're able to make this month, if that makes sense. And then branching out your business into new fields connected with your current line of work. And so this is just an example I had. If you are a dog groomer and you specialize in grooming, maybe you could do something like adding, pet retail area to your space, new services. Maybe you make doggy bandanas on the side and you decide you now want to sell those in your shop. And so don't get out of your current line of work, but adding to it could be beneficial for you this month. And looking at the clashing energy. So the rooster could be impacted. However, remember that when you have a combination with another zodiac sign, it actually takes away a clash. And so you do have a combination with the dragon. So the dragon for the year does bring about the combination. So it actually takes precedence and does take the clash away for the sign of the rooster. So you shouldn't have too much of a hard time this month with opposing energy. Although sometimes, I will say for the rooster, your year may be more eventful than last year. So last year for the rooster, you experienced a clashing energy with the rabbit. However, you do combine with the dragon, and sometimes a combination does make a little bit more of an eventful or exciting, I would say, year for you. So I feel like it's already impacted me that way. I have both a dragon and a rooster. I already have a very strong combination. And so, we'll just see what this year has in store for me. But at least you don't have clashing energy, right? All right, let's now look at the flying stars Feng Shui for the month of March. So flying stars do kind of mimic their pattern from last year. Flying star 4, Academy star, is going to be center, so not really too usable for the month. I know people kind of like to follow that star. Starting with flying star number 1. So Gua 2, or the southwest. The flying star 1 does enhance the yearly 9 star that is there, and it does create a lucky combo of 10. This combo can help with connection in work and relationships. So if you're a Gua 2, you can benefit from this. If not, you can just use it by working in the sector or putting a fan, moving object, and of course decluttering and moving in the area, as flying stars are activated by movement. Another popular flying star is the flying star number 6, Luck Star. But it does unfortunately fall into the west for this month, so not really too usable. You can place a salt cure here. You might have one already since the 5 star is there, but you can put a charm there. So I would do 6 coins tied with a yellow string. Or you can even just put metal out. So some people do put metal weights under like a bed, or, they'll put them off kind of underneath furniture. That works too. So just having something metal in the area, or that salt cure, can kind of absorb some of those negative energy, I suppose, from those flying stars. So, but yeah, 6 star shouldn't be too impactful there. It should be quite okay, but you should have something there for the year anyway if you follow flying stars. And we do love a good 8 wealth star that does go back to the south for the month. I would say, honestly, I wouldn't really activate this area, you know. If you are a Gua 9, you might expect a busier month because that 8 star does kind of represent just putting in more effort, work, stuff like that. So you can work in the area, send emails, cold leads, and do follow-ups, but would not activate the area. And then the other area here has pretty good flying star. Number 9 is the north. So the 9 happiness star does join the 8 wealth star. So I kind of prefer the north to the south. And this is an area for the whole year where you could put up a fan, a radio, put water in the area, or just keep the energy, kind of moving. You can always declutter areas too to kind of activate and bump up that energy. But yeah, all in all, I really like the north this year just because it's a pretty good sector. So whenever it has extra good flying stars in there, like the 8-9 combination, should be quite good for the month. And areas we want to cure. So negative flying stars for the month. The number 2 illness star does have the potential to create some issues. So if you're a Gua 3, watch your health this month. And if you have a bedroom in the east, flying star number 2 does go to the east. Put a little salt jar there. Salt jar there. Just place that there. Kind of keep the area quiet. And if you do have other preferred items that you use to cure the area, from the 2, I know Wooloo gourds are quite popular to use. So yeah, you can place your items out there. And then flying star 3 goes to the southeast. It's usually called the conflict star. So a traditional cure to kind of cure this is a flag, because it is the fire energy without actually putting fire there. So it does kind of burn up the, exhaust the earth, I suppose, and then exhaust also the wood, I guess. It kind of bridges the gap in between the two, if that makes sense. And so, you don't want to put anything red there, but you can put a little flag. Honestly, it's not an area I use very much, so I'm not going to do anything to the area. So do avoid candles and red colors and stuff. If you want to do a fire cure, you could do the flag. But yeah, the Gua 4, also be cautious of your anger and watch your liver. Flying star 7 does move to the northeast. Honestly, not too big a deal. The one caution I would have would be that the year 6 star is there, and 6-7 could represent a little bit of aggression. It's like 2 swords fighting because they're both metal energies. So be cautious of that for the Gua 8. Or if you sleep here, you could put a little salt cure here. But honestly, if your bedroom's there, you should be just fine. If you just generally use the area, it shouldn't be too big a deal. The flying star number 5 does go back to the northwest. And it actually is controlled there by the natural metal energy. So honestly, I wouldn't really put a cure there, but you could place a saltwater cure if you're a bit cautious of the area. Maybe it's a bedroom. Just put a salt cure here. And our no renovation sectors for the month are going to be the east and the west, kind of like last year here. It is like a little bit of a tone of last year. This is similar, I suppose. We do get the month breaker there in the west with the 5 yellow, so definitely no digging, renovations, things like that. And then here we do want to make sure we do not dig, hack, or renovate in the east where the Grand Duke energy is for the month. So to check that out, again, just go to that blog post. I do have a lot of information and more on that. It shows all these in detail. You can easily reference. I try to make really quick reference guides. And then I do have notable dates for the month that have all kinds of, things here like holding clearance sales, dates for starting new assignments or projects, all around good day, feng shui adjustments, sin billing even. There's certain days you could do that so to be more successful. So yeah, go check that out, and that'll be linked below. So now we're going to get into Folklore Friday. We're going to talk about transitioning from winter to spring. All right, guys, quick little break. Today's episode is brought to you by Learn Feng Shui. That's my website. Imagine that. So yeah, just go check out the website. Again, I tend to forget to let you guys know the website's there. I actually do feng shui consultations for many listeners. Many listeners do contact me. I do offer free floor plan mapping and a free little, chat session. I call it a free one-room consultation, but honestly, just call me. We could, I'll answer a few of your feng shui questions, help you kind of get started and maybe set up your living room, or if you have, problems with your bedroom or something like that, just let me know. I'll help you. I'm pretty friendly. I don't really, push people to a payment link or anything like that. So I like feng shui and I like sharing it. So with that being said, I am going to be launching, and it'll probably will be in the summertime, a activating your wealth sector class. And so I'll just kind of be working on that. And as the curriculum gets done, which may take me just a minute, I'm trying to figure out how to make this easy, but I do want to help people find and identify their wealth sector. So I'll be announcing that as it comes. So yeah, if you need a floor plan mapping or just want to chit chat about feng shui, just shoot me a message. Link's always in the show notes, and on my website there is a contact box. You just message me or book a little session, send in your floor plan. There's even a link in there to upload your floor plan. You don't even have to talk to me, you just upload it. It does have to be a proper floor plan that's drawn out, and I do need your either address or facing direction of your home. So sometimes I kind of get lost. Not really lost, but I suppose the floor plan in the message, it gets lost because I can't do anything with it unless you send me the correct information. So if you've sent it before and you realize maybe you didn't send in the complete information, that's why I haven't mapped your floor plan out. I always message people though, so sometimes I get a response, sometimes I do not. So anyway, let's go on to that Folklore Friday segment, and we're going to talk about a little bit about Chinese medicine here, 4 ways to transition from winter to spring. All right, guys, from clinicacumed.com, 4 ways to transform from winter to spring. So the seasons have a direct effect on our health, affecting the balance of elements inside each one of us. And in Chinese medicine, it is encouraged that as the seasons change, we should adapt accordingly to promote good health. By living in harmony with the environment, we can prevent illness and imbalance. And you guys know I like to include all this in my episodes because we can do some things according to Chinese medicine just to stay a little healthier, keep the qi flowing inside our body too. So it says here, spring is a season for rebirth, renewal, and regrowth. And it is when we move from the darkness of winter in the yin part of the year into the light towards the yang part. According to Acumed doctors, top tips to help you spring forward better into well-being, you should look after your liver. So according to TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, spring is associated with the liver and of course the wood element. So did you know that your liver is one of the most important organs for renewing, cleansing, and energizing your body? So TCM does teach us that when the liver is running smoothly, emotional qi will flow and ease throughout the body. And the liver is responsible for metabolizing of fat, detoxification of drugs, and breaking down carbohydrates and producing heat for your body. So it does say here you can help your liver, and it does say here the liver is the organ related to emotion in TCM, and releasing negative emotions can actually help this organ to feel reinvigorated and ready for new beginnings. Try something new or refocus your energy on a goal that you may have let slip. That's their tip there. The liver does open up into the eyes, so remember to take breaks when looking at your computer monitor for extended periods of time and to do eye exercises. And I think we do, so this is the easiest way to kind of think of this. When you have jaundice or when your liver levels are off, you will notice the whites of your eyes are yellow. So, doctors know that, right? We know that it does open to your eyes. So that is interesting, though, in taking breaks. I hadn't thought about that for helping my liver too. Interesting. I do get on the computer quite a bit. And so the number 3 here, the liver does control the tendons. So start stretching every day. Stretching is good to open up pathways to the liver and gallbladder and avoid stagnation. And it does help with many health problems that can arise when these organs are in bad shape. So I know one of the hallmarks of TCM or Chinese medicine is to help the qi flow through all of your organs. And it just is supposed to help your health. And the liver is related to your ability to plan ahead. So while the gallbladder is related to your ability to finalize decisions, be positive to protect these vital organs and allow yourself to grow as nature intended. So what can we do, or, what can we eat, I suppose? What foods can help us during this time? And it does say here, cleansing the body is important. And it says in the wintertime, we often find ourselves craving hearty meals. I know I do when it's cold. I just want to eat and be cozy, maybe winter weight, right? So there are festive seasons where we overload and indulge in feasts and guzzle down countless drinks while exhausting ourselves with all the parties that we couldn't miss out on. Yeah, I wish, right? I don't have a social life. But I do sit in front of my TV and relax that way. So now it is the time to renew and regenerate your body from the inside out. Just as we spring clean our homes, we do need to spring clean our bodies and our digestive system. So it's time to focus on our digestion and detoxification. And it says here, since the liver energy is green like spring, it activates and nourish your liver qi by adding fresh green and sour foods such as leafy foods to your diet. As spring is associated with the liver, it's important to have a diet that strengthens and cleanses it. And it says here, our doctor's advice to you is to reduce the intake of sour foods and increase sweet and pungent flavors to facilitate the liver to regulate qi through your body. And here it suggests alfalfa, algae, asparagus, basil, broccoli, celery, citrus, collard greens, cucumber, fennel, fermented foods like sauerkrauts and kimchi, ginger, kale, lettuces, radishes, seaweed, pickles, spirulina, sprouts, watercress, and wheatgrass. Some of these you can find in your local smoothie shop. So if you go get a green smoothie, a lot of times this stuff is going to be in it. So I say get a green smoothie. And yeah, it does say also that massages are really good to get. It says to flush the toxins by doing some acupuncture, acupressure, and just stretching and moving around and kind of getting away from that sedentary area of winter. We kind of want to just cocoon ourselves in the winter. So yeah, just kind of doing these things can help us stay healthy during this spring season. I know I'm going to definitely have to add some more greens because I feel like I'm still in my winter diet. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode and found it informative. Again, check out that newsletter, and I'll catch you guys next week. I have a fun episode planned. It's going to be When Feng Shui Ruins Your Life. It's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek episode, but I am excited for it. I recorded it a while back, and I just haven't put it out. So I'm excited to release that and just kind of have fun with that episode. And you'll notice that some of these months, they do have like 5 weeks in them. I typically only put out an episode every 3 a month, just because I do have other consultations and my own, home to care for and do feng shui for. And so you might be missing a couple weeks of episodes. I'll kind of intersperse them throughout the month if there's a 5 Fridays in the month. But anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys next week for an episode of When Feng Shui Ruins Your Life. For a free one-room consultation or energy mapping of your space, follow the link in the show notes. To support the podcast, share with your family and friends, leave a review, or go to learnfengshui.com.